I want to say that, Mchungaji, thank you for this wonderful moment that you have gotten for me to share just a word with my fellow believers this afternoon. And I want to say a few things this evening, and I'm timing myself to take at least 10 minutes. And therefore, let me begin by saying that be faithful in your calling. Being faithful in your calling. The verse that we read, that is in the book of Matthew, many are called, but few are chosen. That was Matthew 22, verses 14. You know, I've always said that some believers don't go to church to fellowship. And that means some of the believers are sent to cause a division. So it is incumbent upon them to be faithful in their calling. So these words, they remind us that within every congregation lies a diversity of hearts, a diversity of motives. Some come to the congregation to strengthen the body of Christ, while others test its unity. So yet, this is not outside God's design. You know, why do you say like that? I say this because every encounter, be it pleasant or painful, it reveals something about who we are and who God is shaping us to be. And therefore, then, the question then becomes, what are you doing with your calling? What are you doing in your calling? Are you building or breaking? And therefore, let me say 3 points. Point number one, the church is God's workshop. What do you mean? The church was never meant to be a museum. You know, a museum where we display perfect saints. No, it is a workshop for transformation. When you go to hospital, it is a hospital for the wounded. When people are wounded, this is where God refines us through relationships, through the challenges that we face, and even misunderstandings. You know, the book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verse 17 says that, declares, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And therefore, in this church, in this divine workshop, friction produces growth. What do you mean? Even Judas, though his intentions were impure, they played a role in God's redemption plan. We don't dismiss them. And therefore, likewise, the people who test us may actually be helping us to become much stronger, more wiser, and even more gracious. And therefore, I want to declare this afternoon that every challenge is an opportunity for grace to grow. So never complain. Point number two, faithfulness defines a true calling. You know, 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 2. Let me read. It says like this: it is required of stewards that one be found faithful. So what does that mean? This means that the faithfulness is not measured by popularity or visibility, but by steadfast devotion to God's purpose. And therefore, let me say that whatever your assignment is, whether your assignment is to lead, whether it is to serve, to give, or even to challenge. So your message of success is not how much you do. No, it is about how faithfully you do it. So therefore, to be faithful is to remain humble even when elevated, steadfast when even you are ignored, and to be more loving even when you are provoked. And therefore, true calling is revealed not in the noise we make, but it is revealed in consistency. It is revealed in humility and even in obedience. Therefore, when others choose to divide, you must choose to unite. When others compete, others, they like others, right? Like competing for recognition. You must choose to serve quietly. For, it is faithfulness, not fame. Therefore, what heaven rewards is faithfulness, not fame. And that brings me to the last quote that, God judges the motives, not appearance. We look good from outside, but have a division within. What do you mean? Let me read a verse here. I'm trying to read a verse here that many appear spiritual outwardly. When you look at me, we appear spiritual outwardly. But what about our hearts? We have a division within. Therefore, others may seem so quiet, yet they are the pillars of upholding the church in prayer and even in service. That's why in the book of Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7, First Samuel reminds us that man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And therefore, God is not impressed by how visible your calling is. Maybe, mtangazaji, you look so smart. He is moved by the purity of your heart. What matters most is not what people think of your ministry, but what God sees in your obedience. And therefore, in conclusion, because I said I'm going to take like 10 minutes or less, I want us to reflect. Are we among those who build or among those who break? Each of us has a role. In God's grand design, we all have a role, whether your task is seen or unseen, whether your task is big or small. Faithfulness is your offering to God. So may we live in such a way that when our earthly assignments are done, kazi yangu inapoisha duniani, we will hear him say, like in the book of Matthew, that well done, good and faithful servant. Well done, faithful servant. And therefore my prayer this afternoon is that, Lord, may you teach us to be faithful in our calling. When we are tested, may God help us to stand firm. Even when we are misunderstood, may he as well help us to serve him with grace, so that we can purify our motives, strengthen our hearts, and everything that we do, so that it can build a kingdom in love and unity. May God be with you, and it's my prayer that even another mission, another vision we have been given, whether be it of God or not, each must serve, each must do it faithfully, because at the end, it is what will determine where you will be. God desires that we be obedient to him. Satan, the devil as well, desires that we be obedient to him. And therefore, is incumbent upon you, to whoever master that you are serving, to be faithful unto him, because he will indeed need you to give an account of the things that you did while you were on earth. But I beseech you, I advise that we choose the side of God, because we do not have to strain much to do good works, good deeds, because he has already done them. Ours is only to accept him and also be faithful unto him, faithful in our calling, so that even though many are called, a few are chosen. May God bless you.